Shit. She's here early. Rufus. Rufus. Hey, give me the body.
Welcome, Aela Kord. Thank you for accepting this invitation. Why don't you have a seat over here? Good evening, Miss Kord. May I call you Aela?
Yes.
That's very kind of you. I am Rufus Orlock. I have come to inquire about security measures your city has in place in the event my prince decides to visit for conclave.
I received the letter.
What are your thoughts on the Anarchs?
Beyond the natural recognition of them as enemies?
Indeed. Do you find them an interesting arrangement?
That is a very curious question, is it not?
I'm an inquiring person. All things are of interest to me.
And you have no affiliations?
No. I am a card-carrying member of the Camarilla, as Prince Wentworth has described others.
I see.
The Anarchs believe in the idea of libertas, the notion that vampires should be free and equal, despite age or generation, and all can offer a valuable perspective. What are your thoughts on this?
This sounds like something that would be considered heresy.
By who?
The Camarilla. Are you not Camarilla?
I am a card-carrying member of the Camarilla.
As you've said.
Some Anarchs think of you as an ally. They might be surprised by what you're saying.
They are not what they were. And things change over time. And some things stay the same.
Do you consider the Anarch Movement a threat to the Camarilla?
No.
Some amongst Anarchs in California are said to have a vendetta against you for having flayed the Anarch known as Tinto before the court of Prince Falkenhayn. How do you feel about this?
Tinto accepted his punishment. And I performed duty as the scourge.
Do you feel betrayed after the recent events in San Diego?
I do not feel personally betrayed. I was not personally under attack. It was an attack to the Camarilla. Now I feel betrayed as a member of the Camarilla. But it sounds like the exact sort of thing the Sabbat would do.
Besides yourself and your child, who in this domain do you believe is the greatest asset to the Camarilla?
Greatest asset to this domain?
Yes.
I would say for her actions and the honor that she showed, that currently Rhodey, and I believe many would agree.
That is a very interesting choice, considering Rhodey is not a member of the Camarilla.
She is not, but she's been a great asset to the domain.
What do you find admirable about Rhodey?
She keeps her word. And a kindred's word is extremely important.
Do you believe that Rhodey will one day become part of the Camarilla?
We always hope that many will join the Camarilla, do we not?
We always do. What do you think the greatest failing of the Independent Alliance is?
I'm a member of the Camarilla. Perhaps their greatest failing is that they are not.
The Lazombre elder known as Elias has said that few could stand against the Lazombre in battle. He specifically identified you as a paladin of the Camarilla, saying you were no match against the Lazombre warrior. Is that true?
That he said this, or?
His assertion that you would not be a match against the Lazombre warrior.
I'm not one for boasting, and I believed that Elias was not one for boasting either. At our age, we don't tend to do such trivial things. This also sounds like rumor.
Do you believe the Independent Alliance to be a courageous organization?
I do not pay attention to them closely enough in order to determine.
So they are beneath your attention. We're not deserving of your attention.
I have no reason to look outward from the Camarilla unless it is to face enemies of the Camarilla.
We all know that elders of the Camarilla often find themselves in conflict. And to resolve these conflicts, they often use younger kindred, and Sia and neonates. This isn't a controversy or a heresy, as you say. Would you agree?
We do have a boon system in place. When you hold boons over others, there are debts that they must pay.
And blood bonds, though. There are also blood bonds, where a kindred is a slave to perhaps their sire or a more ancient lineage. How do you feel about this lack of freedom for the neonates and Encia?
It depends on the nature of the bond, I would say. There are those who abuse this bond, and there are those who do not.
Have you ever been bloodbound?
What does this have to do with the safety or security of the domain?
It's more my curiosity. I'm a naturally curious person. As a gangrel, the nature of things is to wonder and wander.
And you are gangrel.
I am, indeed.
Interesting.
If Prince Wentworth commanded you to kill your child, what would you do?
Under what circumstance would he desire to do such a thing?
Well, if I can paint a picture. What if an elder were to accuse your child of diablerie, and another elder were to take your child to a separate room and come back claiming to have found proof of that diablerie, and the prince taking both of these elders' accusation with the seriousness they deserve, commanded that your child die, and assigned you to do the task. What would you do, Miss Kord?
It depends on the truth of the statement. We all follow our leaders and have our duties. And there are rules in the Camarilla. And all know those rules.
It has been whispered by some in other courts that you desire to be prince of the domain of Las Vegas. Is this true?
That is an interesting whisper. Seeing as I don't frequently speak to many from other courts, unless they're gangrel, visiting from other domains.
Like us here.
Yes, like us here.
Aela Kord, I would know what your relationship with your beast is.
That is a very personal question between me and my beast, is it not?
It could be instructive to other kindred to learn how to control or channel such things.
I tend to find that either you learn the control or you do not. And when you do not live very long.
Have you had friends who fell to wassail? Who have fallen to their beast?
I do not use the term friends very often.
Do you not have many friends?
A very select few.
Is it lonely?
No.
What can you tell me about the life of Aela Kord? When you are not on the domain's business, how do you fill your time?
I'm usually on some form of business. The domain has many tasks. And even if you are not officially conducting any tasks, there are always things to keep up on to ensure the safety and security of the domain. The reason for our current conversation.
Indeed. So, you don't follow any of your own interests?
I have had plenty of time to do so.
What do you enjoy doing most when, if in the rare instance that you are not on the domain's business? Are you still a hunter? You enjoy taking to the sky? Do you enjoy interacting with mankind?
Gangrel have an affinity for the outdoors. I do enjoy my time as a wanderer, roaming the desert and the nearby areas.
What would you say is most important to you?
Most important to myself.
Yes.
I suppose that is a personal question. One that has nothing to do with the safety or security of the domain.
Must be my inquisitive nature once again. Kindred lead lives filled with violence and fear. Immortality is a high-stakes game, and one where few wish to risk loss. Beyond fear or anger, what emotions do you feel keep you linked to your humanity?
Desire.
Desire to be prince?
Desire comes in many forms.
After everything you've done for the Ivory Tower, and the violence you've committed in the name of the Camarilla, do you believe that God will forgive you for the things you've done?
No.
I would like to speak with your child soon.
Kindred of Las Vegas. I am Okulus. Have you enjoyed my messages? I made them just for you. I address you now as a messenger to deliver a warning. Your city has faced great trials in the past, and I have watched from beneath as you've risen to take each of these trials in turn. But you are not prepared for what's coming. Your city sits upon an ancient power that will determine the fate of sects. A nexus of mystical energy connected to fate itself, protected only by the labyrinth of storm tunnels weaving its way under your feet. What has gone unnoticed by you is known by others. Your city is seen. You are the promised land to those who know and seek this power. The one who has already infiltrated your domain is the most terrifying seeker of all. He will destroy you for this power. His agents are already among you. You have not questioned them, but instead poured out your secrets as a harvest to him. You have let him into your weakness, loves, and fears. You have been blind, Las Vegas. You will die if you do not open your eyes. Open your eyes. The war has begun.